Hello Can family, how are you doing? This particular video we are gonna discuss more about Rural Community Immigration Pilot Program. It is not a new program, but it is just revamped in a way that now this is one of the hope that international students or immigrants can get a PR in Canada. So let's start with what is this program. So Namaste, Adab, Shashika. Let me discuss about one of the most important notes which you need to keep in mind before you even look into the eligibility criteria and the process. The first most important point is this program is not even started now. That means, yes, this program has been launched, but still the community has not published the qualified designated employer list, which is supposed to be coming on a community website. Don't try to move the community just based upon the hope that I may find an employer or I'm already working there, so I may be eligible for this stream. Kindly hold on, look into one thing, that whether you are having a designated employer, which again, it will take some time, maybe 1 month or 2 months to get that published on the community website, which will give you a better understanding whether you have a particular employer who is eligible. Second important note about this particular program is that not every employer in this particular communities are getting qualified to support this application. Kindly note, there will be a community recommendation letter which should be coming from those employers who are eligible, who are contributing to the community. You need to wait and see that which all employer are there who are qualified, and through that employer only you can able to go into this particular stream and get your PR. The third most important thing about this particular program is that, kindly note, yes, you can even apply for any job in this particular community which fall under tier 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the priority will be going towards the priority sectors like skilled and healthcare. So if you find a designated employer, your chances of getting PR is way more higher than a person who is working in a food sector. And the last and most important thing about this particular community program, that always remember that this particular program can be closed anytime. So which means if you are planning to move to a particular community in hope that, okay, I will move there, I will complete my 1 year of experience, okay, I do have an employer, after that I will apply for my PR, kindly note, by the time you might complete your 1 year of experience or the experience requirement, there are greater chances that this program will be closed and it may need to open next year. And always remember, even if it is open next year, there is no guarantee that whether the same community will be involved in this pilot program. It can change. Now, let's discuss about one of the most important question which is raised by a lot of international students, that who are eligible, who can apply for this particular pilot program. So let me give you a breakdown of who all are getting qualified and who will be eligible to apply for this particular pilot program. First one, those applicants or those employees or immigrants who have a valid job offer letter from a designated employer. When I'm saying designated employer, once again, you need to see on the community website which all employer are getting designated, and through that employer, you need to have a valid job offer. Second important thing, you need to hold a full-time job offer letter from them. That means even if you are a part-time, if you are a casual, or if you are on a contract, unfortunately, that particular employer, even though he is designated, the particular employer will not able to support you for the PR. You still need to wait until you get a full-time title, full-time job. Third important thing, yes, any tier job will be qualify you for this particular stream, which means tiers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, kindly note, it doesn't mean that you need to move there with a tier 5 job and you're hoping that you will get a community recommendation letter. If you are looking to get a PR in Canada, like everyone is looking into going into healthcare, skill, transportation, agriculture, this is also the same thing which you have to follow in this particular stream. Try to look for a job which is under this priority sector, which can increase the probability of getting a recommendation letter. Now, let me talk about a little bit of the exception criteria. So for example, those individuals who don't have a tier 0, 1, 2, 3 job, or some individual who may not even have a 1 year of work experience in that community, still you can be qualified because there is an exception criteria for those individuals or those international students who studied there. If you have completed 2 years of a postgraduate diploma or certificate program, if you have completed master's or degree, you have a job offer letter, you will be getting the priority to apply for this particular stream. Kindly note one thing. If you are applying and using this exception criteria, you must apply for the PR within 18 months of your graduation. But again, even if you are like you completed your graduation in 2023 January sometime, your work permit is about to expire, but you are in that community and your employer is designated, guess what? Because you studied there, you worked there for more than 1 year, you are still eligible to apply under this particular program. Let's talk about the language proficiency requirement. So like any other immigration process, in this particular pilot program, you can do IELTS, RCIP or PT, any one of that. Again, there is a different CLB requirement based upon your tier. So if you are going with tier 0 or 1, you need to have a CLB 6. If you are going with a job offer where you are having a tier 2 or 3, you can even get a CLB 5. And if you're going with a lower tier of tier 4 and 5, you just need to get a CLB 4. Now let's move towards the another topic about, okay, what is the education requirement? Always every immigration process do have a different education requirement, eligibility criteria, and the way of applying. So same thing with this particular pilot program, the education requirement is very specific. So if you already studied in Canada, you need to have an education which is equivalent to high school, postgraduate diploma, postgraduate certificate, degree level, so that you will be getting qualified. But if you are, for example, you are on a spousal open work permit or you are on a dependent visa, and you are a primary applicant, you can still able to apply for this particular program after doing your ECA, Education Credential Assessment, through WS, IQS, ICS or any other institution, and you need to get an equivalency of high school, like Canadian high school, postgraduate diploma, postgraduate certificate, or at least have a degree or master's level so that you will be eligible to apply. But one thing, let me make it very clear about this particular education requirement. If you have not studied in Canada, then your previous graduation need to be within 5 years. That means if you are on spousal open work permit and you completed your graduation in 2019 and you are coming to Canada and you have an employer, unfortunately, you are not eligible to apply for this because now the gap after your graduation is more than 5 years. Let's move towards the last topic about the proof of fund. Now, the proof of fund is something, if you are looking into an express entry or you're looking into any other PNP, you can exempt from that if you have worked in Canada. So that means if it's just one applicant who is applying for this particular pilot program, then that particular individual need to have a bank balance of 7,963 Canadian dollars. Kindly note, it can be in your GIC, fixed or checking account, but it has to be your money in your bank account to support your finance. If you are a family of 2, 3 or 4, I'm gonna drop the link below where you can able to see how much money should be in your bank account to prove the financial requirement and get qualified into this particular stream. Okay guys, so I believe you reached till here. Now the most important thing is how a person can apply. Now, most of the international students always when they contact me, they say that, sir, I believe I am eligible, but how to apply? I think, do I need to take any immigration firm or your assistance or I can do by myself? I always tell the Can family about a simple thing that every immigration application is very simple. If you just need to spend some time to do some research and look into the eligibility, go to the CIC website, look into how to apply, and you can able to find that how even you can do your own application. But let me summarize it. What are the steps which you have to follow while you're applying for this application? Applying for a community recommendation letter. So now, this community recommendation letter include the involvement with your employer also. That means your employer has to fill a form, send that to the community with a recommendation that he do have a particular employee who is intent to stay in this particular community, and this particular employee is very essential for his business. So with that recommendation letter, when employers sign and when you send that to the community, then this application will be submitted and then it start to evaluate. Very important thing in this particular stage is that you need to have 100% genuinity and intent to stay in that particular community. Please note, in the recommendation stage itself, when the community officer is about to call for the interview to you or your employer, if anywhere they feel that you don't have a pure intention to stay in that community, they can refuse your application. So once again, before you move to the community or before you're looking into this particular program to get the PR, make your intention that you will be staying in that particular community for the prolonged time, and you will be getting your PR and you will be giving back and contributing to the same community. So once the community recommendation letter is placed, there would be an interview call with an employer and an employer. Once that is done, you can expect your approval letter. This is a very important stage. Once you get an approval letter, it basically means that you got your 80 to 90% of your PR, because once you receive your community recommendation letter, literally the community is saying that, okay, I need this individual to be staying in the particular community, kindly grant a PR. So once you receive this community recommendation letter, you can be relaxed, because now the next stage is very simple, very straightforward, where you need to apply for the PR application. Very important thing, this is not a express entry based PR. So that means you don't need to create your OINP profile, or you don't need to create a PNP profile, or you don't need to create an express entry profile. In this particular program, once you get a community recommendation letter, you need to create a portal, which is a PR portal, which is a paper-based application. This is basically a non-express entry based PR portal. So this is not express entry. So again, you don't need to apply through your GC key. I'm going to drop down the link below where you can able to find which is the link through which you have to apply. So click on that link, you create your own portal at the PR, and then you can able to fill the application properly. This portal is recently developed and it has all the essential requirement. It listed that very carefully. So just follow the recommendations, follow the IMM form, which tell about what all documents are needed, where you have to upload which all documents. And again, like I said, if any stage you feel that, okay, you need a little bit of guidance, little bit of, you have a questions which you need to ask, you can always approach us. But let me make it very clear. Even if you have any small queries or concerns, you can call CIC directly and get a proper answer about how to apply for this. But once you get a recommendation, you just need to create a PR portal and you need to submit your application. So once again, if you are planning to go through this particular program, you need to mentally prepare yourself to stick with that particular community for at least next 4 to 5 years, because it can take up to 2 years to get a PR card in your hand if you already fulfill the eligibility. If you do not have a work experience, then it can take up to 3 years to get a PR card in your hand, and then you have to stay there for 2 more years. So kindly note, all the immigration pathways has positive and negatives. It's your responsibility to look into what is the eligibility, how to apply, what are the requirements, and what are the precautions you have to take. Same thing with this pilot program, you need to stick with the community. I'm repeating this because, like I said, whenever I said this before, people say that, no, my friend will move to the particular community, got a rural pilot program, and now he moved to Toronto. Now again, he might have moved, he might be lucky, he might have escaped from the scrutiny, but if you move, then you are taking the risk on your own application. So please, being a CAN family member, I really wish that you should have a very smooth and easy immigration process without any hustle. Thank you for watching the whole video till now. If you reach till here, don't forget to like and subscribe our channel, because we will be posting more videos like this. Hope this video was informative. For more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and like our channel. We will be coming with more informative videos like this.